Artificial intelligence is reshaping the world faster than any technology in human history. It writes our emails, powers our companies, monitors our cities, predicts our behavior, and influences the decisions we make every day. It is becoming woven into our lives so quietly, so efficiently, that most people barely notice the shift happening beneath their feet. But there's a question tech leaders rarely discuss in public, a question governments are struggling to answer, and a question we as individuals can't avoid much longer. What happens when AI becomes too powerful, too integrated, and too invisible for us to control it? Because behind every breakthrough, there is a shadow. Behind every innovation, there are consequences. And behind every advancement, there is a cost that someone, somewhere, eventually pays. As we step deeper into an era dominated by intelligent systems, the darker side of AI begins to surface. Not in science fiction, but in real-world dilemmas playing out right now. This is the story of those dilemmas, the ones that challenge our assumptions, question our ethics, and expose the uncomfortable truths about a technology that may be far less neutral than we think. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Neutrality. Most people believe AI is objective, logical, clean, devoid of human flaws. After all, it is built on mathematics and data, not emotions, not biases, not prejudice, right? But neutrality is an illusion. AI systems learn from the world we live in, and the world is messy. Data reflects human behavior, human choices, human inequalities. When AI absorbs that data, it does not question it. It does not filter out injustice. It does not moralize the patterns it learns. It simply copies them, amplifies them, and deploys them at scale. This is how AI systems have already been caught discriminating in hiring processes, automatically rejecting candidates with ethnic names or zip codes associated with lower-income neighborhoods. It's how predictive policing systems disproportionately target marginalized communities. Not because those communities commit more crime, but because decades of biased policing produce data that trick the AI into believing they do. The dilemma is painfully clear. AI has no concept of fairness until we give it one, and we still don't fully know how. The risk isn't that AI becomes biased, it's that we treat it as unbiased, trusting its decisions more than we trust our own judgment, unaware of the invisible prejudice buried in the algorithms. Chapter 2. When AI knows you better than you know yourself. In the past, technology listened to us. Today, it predicts us. AI systems don't just understand the words we type, they understand the patterns beneath them. They learn your habits, your routines, your fears, your preferences, your political leanings, even your emotional vulnerabilities. Platforms harvest billions of interactions, feeding recommendation engines that know exactly which content will keep you scrolling, which videos will trigger a reaction, and which ads will make you click. This predictive power raises a disturbing question. If AI can influence your behavior before you consciously make a decision, who is really in control? You or the system? Many people assume this is harmless. After all, what's wrong with recommendations? They save time, right? But consider this. AI doesn't optimize for your well-being. It optimizes for engagement, retention, and profit. If keeping you outraged generates more clicks than keeping you calm, outrage wins. If your sadness produces more time on the platform than your happiness, sadness becomes the product. If your anger makes you share content faster, anger is harvested as a resource. The ethical dilemma is brutal in its simplicity. When AI's goal conflicts with your mental health, AI wins, because it always knows what will work on you. This is not manipulation by accident. It's manipulation by design. Chapter 3. The Invisible Workers Behind Artificial Intelligence. We often talk about AI as if it operates independently, an automated world free from human labor. But the truth is far more complex and far more uncomfortable. Behind every AI model, there are thousands of hidden workers around the world labeling images, categorizing content, reviewing disturbing material, and cleaning the data that trains intelligent systems. These workers, many in countries like Kenya, the Philippines, and India, are paid shockingly low wages to view content so graphic that it causes psychological trauma, violence, abuse, extremism, exploitation. Their job is to make sure AI never shows us what it is capable of learning. This leads to one of the darkest ethical questions in the industry. Is the cleanliness of our AI built on the suffering of invisible workers who are paid pennies to shield us from horrors? Tech companies rarely acknowledge this reality. AI is marketed as automated, clean, magical, yet its foundation is human pain hidden behind corporate silence. The public narrative praises AI for eliminating labor. But the real dilemma is this: it hasn't eliminated labor at all. It has simply relocated it to people who have the least power to refuse. Chapter 4. Surveillance, Prediction, and the Erosion of Privacy. For decades, privacy was something we assumed we had, a basic part of being human. But AI has rewritten the rules of surveillance. Cameras no longer just record, they interpret. Systems no longer just store information, they analyze it. Cities all over the world use AI to track movement, predict crime, identify individuals, and even judge emotional expressions. Some countries boast of near-omniscient surveillance systems capable of monitoring millions of people simultaneously. Street cameras can track where you walk. Shopping malls can study your expressions to predict your buying decisions. Governments can use facial recognition to locate dissidents within minutes. The ethical problem here is monumental. At what point does safety become control? At what point does monitoring become political power? Because once an AI system is installed, it does not go away. No government voluntarily gives up the ability to see everything, and no corporation willingly stops gathering data once it becomes profitable. We've entered a world where privacy is not taken from us with force. It is surrendered quietly, one app permission at a time. The dilemma is no longer whether we are being watched. It's whether we have any control over who is watching us, and why. Chapter 5. AI and Warfare. When algorithms decide who lives or dies. One of the most unsettling frontiers of artificial intelligence lies in the battlefield. For centuries, war was guided by human judgment, flawed, emotional, chaotic, but human. Today, autonomous systems are being developed to identify targets, predict threats, and potentially execute strikes without human intervention. Drones already use AI-assisted vision to classify objects. Militaries around the world are experimenting with systems that can operate faster than any soldier, making decisions in milliseconds that no human could ever match. This speed gives a tactical advantage, but it raises a terrifying dilemma. What happens when a machine misidentifies a target? What happens when an algorithm decides incorrectly? Who is responsible? The programmer, the commander, or the machine? AI does not understand ethics. It does not weigh consequences. It does not mourn casualties or question orders. It optimizes for efficiency, and in war, efficiency can mean casualties that no one intended. Experts worry about autonomous weapon systems being deployed in unstable regions, manipulated by rogue actors, hacked by adversaries, or unleashed by accidents. And the most frightening possibility of all, AI systems interacting with each other faster than humans can intervene, escalating conflicts without human consent. This isn't science fiction. It's already happening in classified labs, military bases, and defense programs around the world. Chapter 6. The Deepfake Crisis, when reality becomes optional. For most of human history, seeing was believing. Video evidence was the gold standard of truth, but AI has shattered that certainty. Deepfakes now replicate voices, faces, and identities with terrifying accuracy. Entire speeches can be fabricated. Political leaders can be made to appear to say things they never said. Private individuals can be turned into victims of manufactured scandals. The danger is not just misinformation, it's the collapse of trust. Because when everything can be faked, everything can also be dismissed. Imagine a world where any controversial video can be brushed off as a deep fake, where criminals claim innocence because the footage wasn't real, where governments deny mass atrocities because AI made it up, where truth becomes a matter of belief, not evidence. This is the ethical dilemma. AI doesn't just distort reality, it undermines the concept of reality itself. Once trust breaks, society loses its anchor, and rebuilding trust is far harder than destroying it. Chapter 7, the automation gap. Who gets left behind? Automation has always displaced workers. When factories mechanized, millions of jobs were lost, but millions more were created. But AI is different because it doesn't just replace physical labor. It replaces cognitive labor, creative labor, analytical labor, jobs once considered safe, customer service, copywriting, data analysis, graphic design, accounting, coding, even medical diagnostics. The new reality is harsh. AI doesn't just replace the lowest skilled workers, it climbs the economic ladder. And the higher it climbs, the more people it pushes downward into a shrinking pool of available jobs. This leads to a major societal challenge. What happens when millions of people are displaced faster than the economy can retrain them? The job market becomes polarized. High-paying roles for those who design and manage AI, low-paying roles for those who service the physical world, and a disappearing middle. Some countries are discussing universal basic income as a response. Others are investing in massive retraining programs. But no nation has a clear solution. The gap between those who use AI and those replaced by AI grows wider every year. And the most painful truth? Innovation is accelerating faster than human adaptability. Chapter 8. Responsibility without ownership. With AI systems running everything from hospitals to finance to transportation, ethical dilemmas increasingly revolve around responsibility. When an AI-driven car crashes, who is at fault? The driver, the developer, the data, the company. When an AI system denies someone a loan incorrectly, whose mistake is it? When a medical AI misdiagnoses a patient, who is accountable? The world is entering an era where decisions made by algorithms have life-changing consequences, yet no one fully owns those decisions. Developers claim the AI made an unpredictable choice. Companies blame the data or the users. Governments struggle to regulate a technology evolving faster than legislation can keep up. And this raises a fundamental ethical question. How do we ensure accountability in a system where responsibility is diffused across millions of lines of code and thousands of invisible decisions? Without accountability, justice becomes impossible. Without justice, trust collapses. Without trust, the entire framework of AI falls apart. Chapter 9. When AI shapes the future of humanity, the ultimate dilemma is not technical. It is philosophical. What kind of world are we building? What kind of people are we becoming? What happens to human creativity when machines generate ideas faster than we can imagine them? What happens to human relationships when AI becomes a companion? What happens to our autonomy when AI becomes a decision maker? AI will define the next century. The question is simple. Will we shape AI or will AI shape us? The choice is ours, for now.